guys, welcome to my tips and tricks classroom. I'm Julie Cefalu, and today I'm talking to you about binding again. Sometimes we want to get things done quick and fast, and today I'm going to talk about how to finish your binding completely by machine. So let's take a look at that. Here's a cute little mug rug that I made, and I wanted to get this done really fast, so all of my binding is done by machine. And by the way, you can find the tutorial for this mug rug on my blog, thecraftyquilter.com. Let me show you what I did to do all of this by machine. I stitched the binding down by stitching in the ditch right here in the seam. And then you're hoping that you're catching the binding on the back side, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. But when I stitch in the ditch here, I'm using invisible thread, so it really does hide your stitches. You can't see them at all. And this is what it looks like on the back side. So the stitches follow the folded edge of the binding, and the only problem with this method is that once in a while you don't catch every single edge. So here's one right here where I just didn't quite catch all of the edge there. So I can go back and hand stitch this down, or I could even try doing it again by machine, just pulling it up and pinning it and then stitching it from this side. But it gives you a pretty nice finished look, and it's fast. It's definitely not competition worthy, but it's great when you've got a project that you want to get finished. So let me show you a couple of quick tips to make this a little bit more easier and consistent. So I've got my quilt sandwich here that we had worked on before. I've stitched my binding on to the front side of the fabric, of the quilt, and now I'm going to wrap it around to the back. First thing I would do is just give this a quick press so that it makes it easier to wrap around all the way around into the corners. Okay, back to this side. So I love to use a glue stick instead of pinning all of this down. I'm going to glue this in place, and it's going to hold it a little bit better than pins would. So I'm using a Soline glue stick, and the nice thing about it is it's got a small enough tip that it fits right in here in my seam allowance. So what I do is I paint my seam allowance with the glue. I start in the middle and I'm working counterclockwise. So I'm going to go out this way all the way up to the corner, and then wrap that binding around, and then we're going to press it into place, and that's going to dry the glue at the same time. So when we get to the corner, you want to just press it down at an angle like that, and then I'm going to turn this around. Okay, and I'm going to take that corner and flip it like I would mitering it, and glue this next side down. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue up here in the corner and right in here in the seam allowance. There we go. And I'm going to continue doing this all the way around the quilt. So I've got it glue basted into place like that. And now when I stitch this by machine, I'm going to turn it over here, I have a better chance. I'm going to stitch in the ditch here, and I've got a better chance of catching that folded edge on the back side when it's basted in place. It's really stuck there really well, and that's a really nice fast way to finish up your projects all by machine. By the way, those Soline glue sticks come with refills, and a nice thing to do with those refills, once it's empty, so this is what the refill comes in, and you're going to use it to put into your glue stick. But once this is empty, I can get my cap open here. I've got a nice handy container to put my needles into. So here are some needles for hand stitching. They fit perfectly right into this little container.